हेलो दोस्तों, मैं हूं स्मिता कुमार और आप देख रहे हैं आपका फेवरेट हेल्थ केयर चैनल मेडी सर्कल। मेडी सर्कल में हम आज थायराइड की बीमारी के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं। थायराइड काफ़ी कॉमनली प्रेवलेंट माना देखा जा रहा है। इंडिया में बहुत सारे लोग थायराइड के शिकार हो रहे हैं। करीब 10 में से एक इंडियन एडल्ट हाइपोथायराइडिज्म का शिकार होता है। आईटीएस के अनुसार यानी इंडियन थायराइड सोसाइटी के अनुसार थायराइड के केसेस काफ़ी बढ़ रहे हैं, क्योंकि अब लोग काफ़ी जागरूक हो गए हैं। वो डॉक्टर्स के पास जा रहे हैं, अपना टेस्ट करवा रहे हैं। विमेन में यानी महिलाओं में करीब 18 से 35 वर्ष की उम्र की महिलाओं में थायराइड के प्रॉब्लम ज़्यादा देखे जा रहे हैं। थायराइड जो कि एक छोटे से गोइटर जिसके इलाज की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है से लेकर कैंसर जैसी जानलेवा बीमारी का भी कारण हो सकता है। इसलिए थायराइड के को का पता लगाना, उससे रिलेटेड सिम्टम्स के बारे में जाना हमारे लिए बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है। थायराइड हार्मोन का जो एबनॉर्मल प्रोडक्शन होता है हमारे शरीर में, वो थायराइड के एक कॉमन प्रॉब्लम्स में से एक है, जिसे हम हाइपोथायराइडिज्म के भी नाम से जानते हैं। थायराइड हमारे शरीर के मेटाबॉलिज्म प्रोसेस को कंट्रोल करता है। मेटाबॉलिज्म हमारे बॉडी का जो टेम्परेचर है, हमारी जो हार्ट बीट है, और साथ ही साथ कैलोरीज को बर्न करने के प्रोसेस के लिए काफ़ी हद तक जिम्मेदार होता है। मेटाबॉलिज्म इफेक्ट होने की वजह से कई बार लोग मोटापे के शिकार हो जाते हैं। दोस्तों, जैसा कि हम जानते हैं, मोटापा कई खतरनाक बीमारियों को सीधा आमंत्रण देता है, इनविटेशन देता है। कई सारे लोग ऐसे हैं जो वजन कम करने के लिए डाइटिंग भी कर रहे होते हैं, एक्सरसाइज भी कर रहे होते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी उनका वजन कम नहीं हो पाता। कई हद तक ये थायराइड या उससे रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम्स के कारण हो सकते हैं। मेरी सर्कल में हम आपके पास लाते हैं राइट हेल्थ केयर इन्फॉर्मेशन, एक्सपीरियंस डॉक्टर्स और एक्सपर्ट्स की जुबानी। तो चलिए उनसे ही जानते हैं कि हाइपोथायराइडिज्म क्या है, शरीर में थायराइड के होने वाले प्रॉब्लम्स के सिम्टम्स क्या है, और किस तरह से हम थायराइड और उससे रिलेटेड बीमारियों से बच सकते हैं। स्टे हेल्दी, स्टे ट्यून टू मेडी सर्कल।
Thyroid is an important gland, and problems with this gland may be more common than we may think. An estimated 42 million people in India suffer from thyroid diseases. This disease can affect anyone at any age, including children and newborns. To spread awareness about thyroid, MediCircle is speaking to eminent doctors so that people are able to manage this condition well with their insights and advices. Hi, I am Amrita Priya and you are watching MediCircle. Today we have Dr. Akshat Chadha on our show. Dr. Akshat, a general physician, along with an MBA in healthcare management with expertise in lifestyle medicine. As a doctor, he's done extensive work in the field of lifestyle and disease management with special emphasis on thyroid, diabetes, PCOD, and obesity. So welcome, Akshat, to MediCircle.
Thank you so much, Amrita, for having me.
Yes. To begin with, Dr. Akshat, what causes thyroid disorder?
So so it's very difficult to actually give a very clear-cut, cause for a thyroid disorder. Okay, but just to let everybody understand, so the thyroid is a gland which is based at the nape of the neck, base of the neck. Okay, and there is actually another gland called the pituitary gland, which is in the brain. Okay, so when we talk about the hormones of thyroid, we have two hormones, that is the T3, T4, which is secreted by the thyroid gland. Okay, and the TSH hormone, which is the most commonly talked about, is actually secreted from the pituitary gland, which is in the brain. So the pituitary gland and the thyroid gland, they talk to each other, and that's how the hormones are regulated. Okay. Mostly when we're talking about the cause, it's definitely originating from the thyroid. Okay. And when we're talking about underactive thyroid, that is hypothyroidism. Okay. Overactive thyroid is hyperthyroidism. Okay. And very few times, very rarely, there could be an issue with the pituitary gland, which could be causing the hyper or the hypothyroidism. Okay. Initially 40, 50 years ago, the basic cause of mostly hypothyroidism was actually iodine deficiency. Okay, but now it's kind of virtually eliminated because you have the iodine which is already put into the white salt. Okay, so today when you're talking about the causes, the most common cause that we're looking at and rather talked about is something called as autoimmune thyroiditis, predominantly Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Okay, so what is Hashimoto or what does autoimmune thyroiditis mean? Autoimmunity is a condition where the body starts attacking its own thyroid gland. Okay. In this scenario, what happens is that because the body is attacking, the thyroid gets underactive. Okay. So you go into hypothyroidism. So that is the most common, which is like autoimmune. See, to be fair, it's not as bad as the other autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and Sjogren's and all, because it's actually easily manageable. Okay, the thyroid. Then you have things like family history. Family history is something which is it's very common. Okay, and it is extremely important to understand that this thyroid is at least 5 times more common in women than in men. Okay. Then other causes, like there are certain medication which is used over a period of time, for a long period of time it is used, something which is like lithium. It can cause hypothyroidism. Okay. Then there are certain conditions like when we say some surgery that took place, maybe like a thyroid surgery or some treatment for hyperthyroidism. Okay. You have radioactive iodine and all, which can eventually put the person into hypo. Okay. And there are certain things like radiation for for cancer patients with head and neck, okay? Or you have immunotherapy, which can also go into hypothyroidism.
Okay. So what about dietary implications? Is diet has any implication on thyroid?
So more, I'd say it's along with diet. So diet is important, no doubt about it. But I always talk about lifestyle, okay? So more than along with the diet, let's not say more, but along with the diet, it is definitely a lifestyle which has a major impact on your thyroid health. Now, what does that mean? Now, what is lifestyle? Lifestyle is something that you do every day. That's your routine, okay? So all your habits put together is something which kind of comes into a lifestyle. So when you talk about lifestyle, you have to understand so thyroid is a metabolic gland. What is metabolism? How quickly you break down the food that you eat into energy. Okay. If there's a dip in the metabolism, we always say that the person is prone to putting on weight in a way. Okay. So when we talk about thyroid being a metabolic gland, if you have to support it, things like exercise, enough adequate exercise, not over, not too less. Okay. Movement, how active you are through the day. Okay. Are you sleeping well or not? These are the things which actually play a major role on helping you rev up your metabolism. Okay. Then the things about something like a stress level. With everything going around us, if we are so negative and we are so stressed, we don't feel like doing things. Okay. We are not sleeping well. If we don't sleep well, we don't get up with proper energy the next day. We feel fatigued. Okay. So when we don't do these things, what are we doing? We're not exercising. We reach out for things like comfort foods, sugary foods, which eventually load up the thyroid, because the thyroid is trying to compensate the metabolism. Okay. So what happens is that load is taken up by the thyroid, and eventually you realize that the TSH starts going up. So it impacts your thyroid gland. So it is very important. Last but not the least is your food. Now, when you talk about food, there are trace minerals and nutrients like zinc is there, selenium is there. There's something called as L-tyrosine, okay, which definitely plays a role, especially in underactive thyroid. Okay. So, but it's like, do you really have to put a supplement inside you? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. I don't believe in self-supplementation. So if you're really looking for that, you need to talk to an expert. But even things like, nuts and seeds, pumpkin seeds, Brazil nut, maybe a little bit of wheatgrass, which can come in. Okay. Green leafy vegetables, magnesium plays a major role also with thyroid health. Okay. So if these things can come, put together, if they can help you, like a balanced diet, enough proteins, enough fiber, and even carbohydrates. You don't have to cut off carbohydrates completely. Okay. So no fat diets. If these things can come together, okay, eating on a timely basis, eating the right way, okay, make sure your gut is well. Okay. You should not have things like acidity, constipation, indigestion, because then you're not digesting well. If you're not digesting well, eventually it'll come on the metabolism, which will further go and irritate the thyroid. And we know for a fact that things like constipation can become common in a hypothyroid patient, So taking care of the gut health, taking care of water intake, these things become extremely important. So I would say it's not only the diet, but 100% your lifestyle plays a big role in your thyroid health.
All right. And diet is a part of it.
Yes.
Okay. So Dr. Akshat, if from your personal or professional experience, what do you think? How prevalent is thyroid-related ailments in our society?
You started off saying that it is 42 million, right? In fact, the recent studies that we've actually been doing, let's split it. So let's say it's about roughly 15%. It's actually more than 42 million. It's 15% of the hyper plus hypo. In this categorization, hypothyroids are around, let's say, 10 to 11%. Okay. And hyperthyroidism is about 3 to 4% of the people. Okay. So if you look at 15%, it's roughly 150 million people who are actually suffering from thyroid as we speak. Okay. Now, the important part is that when you talk about hypothyroid, you talk about 11%, 10% of hypothyroidism. In that, only 2 to 3 or maybe maximum 4% could be Hashimoto, that is the autoimmune. But the other conditions are actually something called as subclinical hypothyroidism also. Okay. Subclinical is a very gray area where there is a constant debate going on where start the medication, don't start the medication. So I'm not getting into that. But the point is that there's almost 150 million people. Because we have if you talk about our population, current population, that's about 1.3, 1.4 billion people, right? So if you do a percentage, that's 15%. So roughly that's 150 million people having thyroid as we speak. So that's a huge number.
Yeah, really. So, so I stand corrected here. You corrected me. So we are living in the COVID times at the moment. But do you think thyroid patients are more prone to acquiring COVID-19?
So there are studies still going on about this. Okay. But currently, as we speak, at this point, there is no evidence to prove or rather to state that a person suffering from thyroid is more prone to getting the COVID, basically. There is no proper studies or anything which proves that, okay? But having said that, okay, my personal view would be that if you have uncontrolled thyroid disease, hyper or hypo, okay, then it is a point of concern for me from a doctor perspective, because I feel thyroid has a lot of vague symptoms like, fatigue and lethargy, which again will prevent you from doing the lifestyle changes. You'll not feel like going out for a walk. Anyway, things are, so packed inside the house. There is so much of negativity. Again, stress. Okay. So at this point, if you're not able to take care of yourself because of a symptom, which could be because of the thyroid, I think that is one of the, it will be something so wrong that we'll be doing for ourselves. Okay. So when I say uncontrolled, that means, you're supposed to be on medication. You're not taking it. Okay. Or you are self-changing and self-altering your medication for thyroid, because nowadays everybody's in a rush to get off the thyroid tablet, right? So a lot of times people self-medicate, self-alter, which at this point, I think is a very, very dangerous thing to do. So today, if I'm going to be looking at, I think if you can take care of yourself, okay, you can take care of your lifestyle parameters, you can take care of your thyroid, which will further help you build your immunity. Then you will be in a zone where you will kind of protect yourself from COVID also. Okay. Now, like I said, even if you get COVID, if you have thyroid, that doesn't mean that your recovery is going to get hampered. But if you take care of yourself with or without thyroid, you will recover well from COVID. That is what is important.
All right. So thank you, Dr. Akshat, for all your insights on thyroid. And I'm sure our viewers are going to gain insights from it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amrita.
Yeah.